idols, if images are completely to be avoided, then we should not even be filming me also now. We should not take any photo, anything. No image. This is also image only, isn't it? So I think as human beings with our limitations, we need something to hold on to, latch on to, and those are the images. So we are not really venerating that statue, that stone, or that picture, the painting, or anything like that. We are not. We are just using that as an aid. If, for example, the rosary, we can pray the rosary without holding the beads. But when we hold the beads, it becomes more easy to pray the rosary. All the statues, idols, pictures are all only that way, nothing more than that. We can meditate upon the mysteries of our faith, joyful, sorrowful, glorious, luminous, without the help of the rosary. But the rosary helps us to meditate in that way. So it is just an aid, that's all. It is not an end in itself. It's a means towards worshipping God. So that way only we have to interpret that, because we are human, we have limitations. We don't have to worry too much about that. We shouldn't overemphasize any of these things and make that into an issue. That is, just give it as much prominence as it deserves. Statues are only that much, nothing more than that. But sometimes, of course, it can be very wrongly interpreted, and not only sometimes, many a times, because common people don't know. In our old parish, I see one lady. She comes and spends so much time. I hope she doesn't get to hear what. It doesn't matter. She spends so much time in front of each statue. She has so many things in her bag. She touches every little thing to each statue. If the statue is clothed with a sari or whatever it is, she'll make sure that that cloth is removed and touch the very statue. That's when she'll be satisfied. So strongly linking everything with that particular statue. That's because people are so simpletons. They have not been told what is what. It is our failure. It is not their failure. We cannot blame them. So the church is to be blamed for one thing, in that it has not helped people to understand the faith in the right way, particularly in terms of the idols and the statues and pictures and all those things. We have not helped them in that way. As long as we help them and make them realize what they stand for, I think it is okay. It's just a tool for to aid our human limitation.
Is prayer, veneration and lighting of candles to Christian idols permitted? Now the question itself assumes certain things, so I'm going to kind of look at it this way. Christian idols, if I can use the word oxymoron, because the Bible says in the Old Testament, in the book of Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 1. Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 1. Do not make idols or set up an image or a sacred stone for yourselves, and do not place a carved stone in your land to bow down before it. I am the Lord your God. That is why the Bible says God is spirit, and those who worship must worship in spirit and in truth. So there is nothing called as Christian idols. You can have statues. There are many places that have statues. They remind you of certain facts of history. You get me? You can have a wooden cross maybe hanging on your wall. But Jesus is not hanging on that cross. You don't have to go stand before that wooden cross and pray, because God is not there. He is in heaven above. That is why Psalm 121 verse 1, I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the maker of heaven and earth. So the very point of Christian idols is unacceptable, because the Bible very clearly says you shall not have any idols. Because when you make an idol, man makes an idol and calls it God. That God is present inside that piece of clay. But God is not present. Imagine, the Bible even says, what temple will you build that I will come and reside? The only temple that God will reside is our own bodies. If we will open our heart to the Lord resides. And I always say this, when I go to the market, the Lord is with me. When I'm in the church, the Lord is with me. When I'm alone at home, the Lord is with me. So, there is no need for me to make a carved image, which the Bible very clearly objects. Prayer is different. Veneration is different. Lighting of candles is different. Can I continue? Okay. So, we'll talk about veneration. See, the word veneration, if I understand it right, it talks more about, they are greater than other human beings. Now, why are they great? For example, Daniel was greater than many other Jews. Not because he was, more than a human. He was not a semi-god. He was still man who feared God. You honor God, God honors you. So you don't revere a man. You honor a man, but you revere God. So there is no room in the Bible, because the Bible very clearly says, you shall have no other God except the Lord your God. That is why in Exodus chapter 20, verse 4, as part of the 10 Commandments, you shall have no other God. Lighting of candles, if you want to do it just for the aroma in the room, I'm fine with it. But I don't find any other significance to light a candle. If somebody doesn't, if there is no electricity at home and you light a candle, it's different. But why do you want to light a candle? You are saying because it gives light, but Jesus gives something better. He says, I am the light of the world, not the light of a room. Not the light that will spread to probably about 10 feet around you. I am the light of the world. I don't have to light a candle. But if I allow Jesus to take rulership in my life, the Bible says, you are the light of the world. Can you imagine that wonderful promise that Jesus gave? He says first, I am the light of the world. And then he says, you are the light of the world. Which means, any person that gives place to the Lordship of Jesus can be a blessing for other people. And when I go and minister to people like leprosy people, gypsy people, beggars, people who sit by the roadside, I just say, simple things about the love of God, and you could see that there is hope in their eyes. There are people who come with great positions in the society, but they are extremely depressed. And I tell them the hope that God can give. And immediately, in the midst of the darkness of their lives, light comes. Who gives that light? God gives that light, but He uses me. So He is the source of the light. I am the transporter of the light. The light from Him passes through me to a person in need. So there is no need for lighting of candles.